So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all nightmares. Hey everyone, there's Vethekos, and today I'm back with Audrey vs. the Poison Dreams. You might remember that I have a video on my channel for the 2021 Solitaire Print and Play Game Design Contest on BoardGameGeek, and this game was entered. This is a legacy dungeon crawler with RPG elements that consists of 6 chapters, and I was able to play the first 2 chapters to cover it for the contest. But I found the game interesting enough to actually continue it, so I would like to play chapter 3 today. So not a whole lot has changed regarding my setup. I pulled up the camera a little bit more, so we just have a little bit more room. And also you see here, if you remember the first video, you might see that this is a pretty large booklet here. I actually printed out the booklet again, as you can see here. That was the old one, and you see that I wrote everything in here, but I actually printed it out larger in A4, and also you can see here that I put everything in here that that I filled in the old booklet. It's just a little bit nicer now, so I think that's a pretty good thing. So we can just see everything a little bit better, and that should be fine. Also, before I start setting up the game, I would really urge you to watch the first video. I know it's pretty long, but I have timestamps in the video, and you can at least jump to the story bits. Maybe just see how the game is kind of played, like the first chapter. Just skim around a little bit in there, and then go to the story bits, so you know what is happening to Audrey and also to our kindergarten teacher, Maya. So you kind of know where we left off with the story, because this game usually takes quite a while to play, and I don't always want to do a story recap, otherwise the videos will be even longer. Just go to the old video. I will link it up here if I don't forget, and then you can just take a look at the story bits. Alright, and before we set up the game, I think we have some story bits to read. So that's chapter 2. Let me look for chapter 3. And I think here we are. Chapter 3. There we go. So let me put that here in the back. We also don't need the old booklet anymore, so let me get that out of the way, and then we can read here. Alright. Introduction. Asher guards a high-rising territory to the east of Audrey's river and lake. The southern half of this territory features cliffs whose ragged faces make for challenging progress. Another Mother Dream Tree sits at the top of the cliffs. While not as ancient as the Mother Dream Tree by the lake, this Mother Dream Tree is nonetheless old and the source of many of the dream trees that grow at the higher altitudes of the forest. Asher takes good care of the dream trees. For the poison to have taken hold, it must be extremely potent. The cliffs are also home to a tribe of monkeys, long allied with the guardians of the forest. They make light work of the rocky cliff faces, which are otherwise inaccessible to the tapers. Making contact with their leader, Hannah Onyxtail, will be crucial if Asher is to be reached before the poison takes him. Alright, so we definitely will have another map. Also, just by the way, I didn't look at the story yet, and also at the gameplay, so we will discover everything together. Goals. Mandatory. Reach the Mother Dream Tree at the top of the cliffs, and defeat 2 nightmares at this Mother Dream Tree. Okay. Optional. Climb up one cliff face using Hannah Onyxtail's help. So we will definitely have a new ally in this chapter. Optional. Target. Do not let 1 or more nightmares escape. Okay, this time we actually do want to win against all nightmares. Lose conditions. You may only cycle through the deck twice. If you lose, start the chapter again. Okay, so only 1 reshuffle. You must defeat 2 more nightmares at the Mother Dream Tree at the top of the cliffs. If you lose either combat, start the chapter again. Okay, sure. Okay, and we have new rules. So what we have here is that we need to defeat 2 nightmares at the cliffs Mother Dream Tree. That is here to the right. Exactly. and we draw 4 nightmare cards. We can choose 2 and need to defeat both. But as I can see here, we can replenish our hand when the first combat is completed, so we don't need to defeat both with only 6 cards. That would be kind of harsh. Also, we can trade cards for movement. Okay, so we can trade in 2 black cards, for example, for a red one. So then we can move right instead of left. That's pretty good. That is very helpful. I would have liked that in the last chapter because I had some issues there. Climb cliffs with Hannah Onyx Tail. Well, we have a new ally. That is the monkey, I suppose. Let me see if I can find them. There we go. Asher Onyx Tail. Climb up or down cliffs, left or right. Okay. So we can do 1 cliff wall. And then that's it. With the upgrade, we could do 2 cliff walls. That's even better. Okay. However, the ally card can be activated to jump up cliffs. Remember, you can only activate an ally once, so think carefully about when you want to activate. Alright, that's pretty interesting. So, yeah. So, let me just, before we continue, let me just quickly set up the game, and then we can start chapter 3. Alright, and we are pretty much ready to play. So let me draw 6 cards. And remember, we can always replenish cards at the beginning and end of combat, when we land on a dream tree or when we land on a resupply tile. Also, there has been a change to the rules, another change which I like a lot. Now we can draw a new card, a new hand of cards, if we have 5 or 6 of the same color. So that is pretty good. But we need to put, I think, 3 cards from the deck into the discard pile. Alright, so now we can get started. So our goal is to get here to the right, to that tree, and then fight 2 nightmares. So, and I chose these 4 allies. So, we need to play with Apex Arthur and Asher Onyx Tail this round. Apex Arthur, eat 1 nightmare. You may activate this card at any point during combat. That is pretty nice, so we can actually just defeat a nightmare for free pretty much if we have these cards. And with Asher Onyx Tail, we can just climb up or down cliffs. So you see here these lines over here, and these lines, these are cliffs. So we can't just go up these cliffs because they are elevated. We either need to go around or use Asher Onyx Tail to climb 1 cliff up. So I think I will try to move around here and then climb up that cliff. And then we're already at that tree. So that should hopefully work. We have a lot of red cards, that's fine. And also we have the Rivervale Colony, that's the one I chose. Add cards from the draw deck to your hand. Do not resupply until you reach your hand limit. So we can just pick up 3 cards. That's 3 cards, that is really good to have. And also I have Micaiah the Fisher again. I used her in every chapter so far because they're great. Add cards of your choice from the discard pile to your hand. So we can just pick up 7 cards from the discard pile and just add them to our hand. And that's great if we do that right before combat. Like I would probably do that right before we fight the nightmare there. The 2 nightmares. So we have 7 more cards in our hand. That'd be great. Alright, so let's get started. Here on these we need at least a 5 to go on there. So let's see. And we have that. So I can play the 5 and the 9. So I can play a 5 to get there and a 9 to go there. And since I played the same color twice in a row, for the second card I can move 1 more. There was 1 change in chapter 2. And I suppose that this still holds up. That we can still do that. And then I will spend... We don't really want to move left too far, right? So I think what I will do is I will spend 2 black cards to move right instead of left. So usually you would have to move left with black, but a new rule in chapter 3 says that if we spend 2 black ones, we can use it as a red card. So I move that use that to move to the right. Oops, let me rearrange the map quickly here. There we go. And then I will spend another red one to go to that resupply tile. And we can draw back up to 6 cards. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so, and we have black cards again here, but 2, that is fine. All right, so let's see that we somehow get over there. So 1 red card to go to the right. Let's play low cards for now. Well, actually, the jack can be kind of helpful, so we'll keep that. And the ace only counts 1 in an encounter, so I'm definitely gonna take that one to go there. Then we need to go 1 to the left. Let's take the queen. And then I will also play the 2 here to go over there. And then we can resupply again. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's pretty good. The king is actually quite helpful in battle, so I might keep that. All right, and then we need to go further to the right. For the Azure Onyx tail, we need 2 spades to use them, but we don't have any spades. So either we go down here and risk hopefully getting 2 spades, or we just go around here. I think we will just go around. It's not much farther this way. All right, so let's see. Now I'm thinking, So we can actually have enough to go there and then to that tree. So we don't need to defeat any trees, right? But we do have that optional target of using Azure Onyx Tail. But you can't use her at the moment. So, well, I guess we won't be able to actually fulfill that objective. Because I don't want to keep walking around here and just hoping to get these cards. So, well, we could also draw some cards and hope there is some in there. That's something we could do, but I think I would rather pick up cards before the battle. That's more important. So let's leave that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to move 5 to get to that resupply point. And well, we can just play these 4 and also these 2 and another red, which would be 5, right? So we would pretty much play all cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get on there and draw 6 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now let's see. We do need we do need a diamond for that one here, and for that we need a heart and a club, which we have. So we have a heart here and a club. I will just put these aside because so then we can use the fisher, and with Makai the Fisher, I will just pick up a diamond, so we can also do that over there. Okay. And also we should have 2 clubs and 1 spade in our hand, if possible, so we can just defeat any nightmare immediately. That would be great also. Okay, great. So now we need 1 red, 1 black, and 1 red to go there. So, yeah. Let's do 1 red to go over there. Then 1 black. Well, let's use this for now, but you might have to pick it up again to go to the left. And then we would spend another red one. Let's take the 7 here to go to that tree. But on that tree, since you are moving on that tree, that is the last played card. So we will put that in a different pile here. And now, before we start the battle and everything, I will use the abilities here. So first of all, I will use Makai the Fisher. I will spend 1 club and 1 heart. Put that here. And now we can get 7 cards. So I at least want 1 diamond. Let's just take a low diamond because we will have to spend it again. And also I would like this one here. Oh, but before we do that, we would have to resupply to 6 cards, of course, right? Because we landed on that tile. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we can see what we have here. So, and now we will, well, let's see. So we need 2 clubs. We would have 2 clubs. We need a spade. We have one. And we need a diamond. We already have everything in hand we need. So let's just take 7 high cards. Like as high as possible, like 10. Like 10s are very good. So 1. 9 is good. 2, another 9. 3. And then here an 8, that's 4. Another 8, that's 5. And let's take a few black cards too, like a 7, sure, why not? And then another one, let's just take, well, like a king would be pretty helpful too. Let's take a king. All right, so we took our 7 cards. And also then I will spend a diamond. Let's take the 8 because that's the lowest one, right? Yeah. To use the Rubervale colony to get 3 cards from the draw deck. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we pretty much have everything. So we are now here on the stream tree. Let's put that token out of the way, and we will put Asher right beside her. And then now we draw 4 dream tree cards. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all nightmares. And now we need to fight the ones with the highest intensity. So we have a 5 there, 4, and 2 5s. So this one is not high enough, so that will be gone. We will not fight that one. Let me just put it right under the deck here. And we will fight these here. If released, select an ally. They can no longer be activated. That's fine. These would actually be fine. Let's take these 2 because they don't have any resistances. That is great. Okay, so let's fight the first betrayer here. And I will do it like this because afterwards we cannot activate a specific ally. So what I will do is I will immediately use Apex Otter. So I can eat 1 nightmare, and that is 2 clubs. So let's find 2 clubs I want to use, like the ace and the 7, and also a spade that is then the 4 over here. So Apex Otter is used, and we defeated the first nightmare. And now we fight the second one. And that works like this. So let's go into combat now, and I will show you how that works. So first of all, we will play a card we want to fight the nightmare with. Let's just take a 10. So there is no resistance here, so we can take any suit. So let's use a 10. And now we will draw a card for the nightmare and add that to the intensity and then subtract our card. So we are pretty lucky. So that's a pretty anticlimactic fight because starting intensity is 5, plus 4 is 9, minus 10 is -1. So we already defeated the nightmare. We need to bring the intensity down to 0 or even less. So we defeated that nightmare. And that was a pretty quick and simple game, to be honest. Because, well, I was just using the allies right before the last battle, and I didn't fight. I didn't fight any other nightmares, so that worked. And we didn't need to fight any nightmares, right? It just said, fight the 2 nightmares over there. Okay. So that is pretty much it. And now we would continue with our story here. So let me get that here. All right. So let me put everything a little bit aside here. So let's put these allies here. Let's put these, well, let's just put them like this. And these are the nightmares we defeated. Put this over there. This is all the discard pile here. Let's put the draw deck like this. And this is the last card played. I'll just put it, oops, right here on the map. Because now we have room here to work on our chapter here. And like this, you should see the entire piece of paper. All right. Chapter 3, Chapter Record Part 1, The Jungle Changes. Despite Audrey's efforts, the poison continues to grow in intensity, becoming increasingly challenging to combat and having even further impacts on the force itself. Play through Chapter 3, which we did, and when this is finished, go through the following steps to change the force and upgrade both allies and nightmares. The landscape changes. So a waterfall forms. So it's now we look at the last card plate pile. Do we have more black cards than red cards? No. Do we have more red than black cards? We do, because we have one red card. Then the cliffs extend, further cutting off the high land from the river and lake. Take a black pen and color in 2 more tile borders, which connect to an existing cliff, extending it in the direction of your choice. You may extend 1 cliff twice or 2 cliffs once. Okay, so we need to make the cliffs longer. Well, I don't know what we want to do then. So I definitely don't want to close that off here. And maybe have one at the top here, right? Well, But you see, the problem is these cliffs are all... But we can do a direction of our choice, right? So we could also like have a cliff like go here or someplace like that, right? To extend it like inwards a little bit so that we won't cut off the way in between here. That might be an idea. So I think, let me see. Let me extend that cliff over here. That cliff number 1. And then I will do a similar thing over here. Let's just extend that cliff. And I think like that, it works pretty well. So now we have 2 cliffs here, but we can still move around. So I think that should be okay. All right, so we did that. Take any nightmare cards which entered combat in the previous round and have not been upgraded and upgrade them to their upgrade abilities. Well, the problem is that we have the 2 betrayals here and these can't be upgraded, right? So that's good. That's a good thing. So we were actually pretty lucky there. An ally grows stronger. You may now upgrade 1 ally. You can pick any ally even if you didn't activate them during chapters 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So now we can upgrade one of these. Let's see which one we want to upgrade. So we already upgraded our Fisher here. So we can't upgrade them any further. And then we have Asher. We could climb 2 cliff walls. I don't know how relevant that is. This one we can upgrade. And then we also only have the Rivervale Colony, which is not bad. We can pick up 5 cards. That is pretty good. So let's upgrade that one here. So we just cross out the starting ability here, like this. And now it's upgraded. Great. I think that's pretty good. Now we have a lot of drawing power for drawing, a lot of power for drawing cards. That's pretty good. Okay. Optional missions. If Audrey climbed the cliff, we didn't. So that doesn't matter. If 1 or more nightmares escaped, that didn't help either. That didn't happen either, so that's fine. So we don't get the positive one here because we didn't climb a cliff, but we also don't get the negative one because we didn't let any nightmares escape. Okay, so and now we have our clues again. So let's see. This one is already full with clues here, so we will put that aside. And I will just put these clues here in a completely random order. So I will probably fast forward while doing this. All right, and we stored new clues on our allies here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all. Great. So we can continue. All right, we have our epilogue. Audrey moves quickly to check Asher. The old taper's shallow breaths show the poison has hurt him deeply. Eventually, he looks up at Audrey and smiles. If you say I told you so about the poisoner, then I won't say thank you for saving me, Asher jokes. I can live with that, Audrey replies. I told you so. The 2 tapers are silent for a while, partly recovering, partly thinking about what's next. This is spreading even faster now than at the start, Audrey comments. We have to assume the entire forest could be poisoned. Then we need to tell all the other guardians, Asher says. Asher turns to Audrey. You're younger, smarter and stronger than me. You must stay here and keep fighting the poison, stop it from taking over. I'll travel to all the other territories and we'll get help. Asher still looks weak from the poison, barely capable of standing on his feet, never mind traversing the large dream forest. But the older Taper seems able to read Audrey's mind. Sooner or later the poisoner must be fought, Asher argues. These old legs cannot do that, but they can still move when they need to. Then we have a plan, Audrey agrees. Both Tapers hear the buzzing of bees not far away and drawing closer. More news is coming. Alright, and that is how the story there continues. Now we have continuing the interlude. So what we do is we take the cards from the last plate pile. If we have more than 6 cards, we need to randomly discard some. If we have less, which we do, then we need to draw random ones from the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until we have 6 cards. Like this. Oh, that's all black. Okay, so we don't have a lot of choices this time. Let me just spread them out here. Like this. Okay. That's the 6 cards we can use, and we'll first fill everything in here. So let me quickly do that. Alright, and that is already it. So these are the cards the suits and values we can work with for continuing the story for Maya, our main character, or the other main character, so to speak. Alright, name of our character is Maya. The animal transferred an object in your dream. That was a squirrel. And then we had, I think our oldest friend. Let me check that. So that was in chapter 2. And scroll here, your mentor. So that was actually my mentor. So let's cross out the others. Is not the love of my life, not the nemesis, but your mentor. Do we need a name for the mentor? I don't know if we do need a name, but if we do, then let's just call him Plato. I know we're not in Greece here, but let's just say that's a nickname for him because he's such a great mentor. Okay, great. So let's put that aside. So we have these values here, like this. And then let's continue the story. The world blinks again and turns to nothingness. It's not light or dark or anything in between, just an overwhelming feeling of nothingness. What now? Maya asks. Maya? Attempt to ask about the dagger in their back, or don't say anything about the dagger. Yeah, let's ask. And we do have a lot of black cards, so we can do that. So then let's take the 9 here and attempt to ask. Let's cross that out. I'm just a guide. The squirrel replies. I guide, but I don't create. Everything you see and experience, and I mean everything, is coming from somewhere inside of you. Don't worry, I will read out the story when we're done filling everything in. Then we have Maya again here. Maya sits down and takes time to compose themselves. Oh, or she screams incoherently for 10 minutes. Oh, that's 2 choices. No, let's make her sit down and take time to compose herself. I think that's good. And then we will just take, let's take the 10 of spades for that. So we cross out this one because Maya is composed. I mean, she should be pretty composed, right? I mean, she's a kindergarten teacher. So that's probably not easy. Eventually an image of Plato appears in midair. This is clearly a photo bordered by a frame. The frame then splits into more, each with a different image of them, and eventually Images of them feel the nothingness. All right, we need to multiply two values here. Well, so we do still have two reds. Oh no, wait, this is not the values. We need to do everything separate from each other, right? So we did two spades, okay, that's fine. And now we need to have two values. Well, oh, and I see, I mixed everything up here, you see that? Like I put the suit up here and then now down there. I messed everything up, but that's fine. So let's take a 4 and a 7, I suppose. Yeah, why not? That would be 28 multiplied. 28 images of them feel the nothingness. The images are neatly spaced out. Well, we have 0 to 2 nightmares escaped. So that's what we will have to choose. The images are neatly spaced out. You created me the squirrel. I don't even know why I took a squirrel, but it somehow worked with the forest and everything. Emphasizes. Something within you wants, no needs to experience this. Maya doesn't react. Staring at the images. Let's start with the basics, the squirrel suggests. What's their name? It's first name of this character, the number of letters matching one of the value boxes. Ah, I see. I guess we were supposed to call this mentor, and then now give the mentor a name, I suppose. And then we would have to, Plato, that's 5 letters. If we still wanted to use that, we would need a value of 5, which we don't have. At least I think that we need to give the mentor a name now. So I would like to keep Plato, for to be honest, but we don't have anything with 5 letters, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to add an N here because that's the Greek version, the Greek name that Plato called himself, so that's Platon, if I'm not pronouncing that incorrectly. So then we can, that's then 6 letters, and we can take the 6 over there. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a little bit cheaty, but I'm still going to do it because I really like this name now. I really want to keep that name. But here it would be the mentor, right? And then we call him Plato here. Maya replies. Okay. Saying that name feels painful, strange, joyous, cathartic. Well, strange would be cool. We do have a heart. So let's do strange. Let's cross out everything else. Let's see. So not painful, not joyous, not cathartic. Okay, that's progress. The scroll replies. That's sum the remaining values. Okay, so we have a 10 and another 10. So that would be 20. That's 20 points for you. That's not a whole lot. So what does Maya say? Hooray points? Oh, I don't care about your points. Well, we wanted to make you a little bit sarcastic, right? So hooray points sounds pretty sarcastic. Can we still do that? Yes, we can. So let's take the last spade we have to make her a little bit sarcastic again. I think I wanted to make her sarcastic, right? If not, then I want to do it now. Maya replies. The squirrel moves closer and continues. Pick one and cross out the other. 0 to 2 nightmares escaped. Exactly. So encouragingly. As long as this takes us, we keep going. But what if I can't? But what if I don't want to? Well, what would Maya do? Would she want to continue? I guess she would, right? I mean, she wants to get to the bottom of this, but she might not be able to actually do it. She might be afraid that she can't do it, because I mean that's a strange land for her now with all the nightmares and everything. So I guess what if I can't would make sense. So let's take the clubs here and then say, but what if I can't? This is your dream, the scroll explains. If we are here, if you are seeing this, it's because you have quite literally set your mind to it. Before any more conversation is possible, a loud noise fills the space. Both Maya and the scroll, oops, I'm not able to write today, quickly cover their ears. Strangely stop the noise that has turned the nothingness into pain, but it's not enough to shut out what sounds like. So we have only a diamond, so a loud natural noise. A loud natural noise. What could that be? Something loud and natural. Let's say a roll of, sounds like a roll of thunder. How about that? I think that would be pretty cool, right? A roll of thunder. Suddenly the images start flicking, changing back and forth, but changing so fast it's impossible to make out what they are. For the first time, the squirrel starts to look flustered. So actually, we have squirrel. Let me just fill everything in, the last few here, and then we can just read the story in its entirety now. I mean, the video is long enough as it is, right? After that, the story is, I think, done. It is. Okay, that's the last thing we will do today. Read out the story of chapter 3. Did we use everything? Yeah, we did use everything. Cool. Interlude 3. The dream crosses over. The world blinks again and turns to nothingness. It's not light or dark or anything in between. Just an overwhelming feeling of nothingness. What now? Maya asks. She's attempting to ask about the dagger in their back. I'm just a guide, the squirrel replies. I guide, but I don't create. Everything you see and experience, and I mean everything, is coming from somewhere inside of you. Maya sits down and takes time to compose themselves. Eventually, an image of the mentor appears in midair. This is clearly a photo, bordered by a frame. The frame then splits into more, each with a different image of them, and eventually 28 images of them feel the nothingness. The images are neatly spaced out. You created me, the squirrel emphasizes. Something within you wants, no one needs to experience this. Maya doesn't react, staring at the images. Let's start with the basics, the squirrel suggests. What's their name? It's Platon, Maya replies. Saying that name feels strange. Okay, that's progress, the squirrel replies. That's 20 points for you. Hooray, points, Maya replies. The squirrel moves closer and continues. As long as this takes us, we will keep going. But what if I can't? This is your dream, the squirrel explains. This is your dream, the squirrel explains. If we are here, if you are seeing this, it is because you have quite literally set your mind to it. Before any more conversation is possible, a loud noise fills the space. Both Maya and the squirrel quickly cover their ears, straining to stop the noise that has turned the nothingness into pain, but is not enough to shut out what sounds like a roll of thunder. Suddenly the images start flicking, changing back and forth, but changing so fast it's impossible to make out what they are. And for the first time, the squirrel starts to look flustered, with panic increasingly etched on their face. Eventually the images slow down, and settle on a slow rotation of 6 animals. A frog, a kingfisher, a snake, a monkey, some bees, and some ants. These aren't from you, the squirrel says, trembling. These aren't memories. They aren't imagination. These aren't you. I thought you said that everything here comes from me, Maya asks. But the squirrel can't reply. Their mouth is wide open, contorted with pain as a second dagger now sticks out of their back. The stream will continue in the next interlude. Alright. Interesting. And we are done with chapter 3, everybody. So we are halfway through the game now. There is 6 chapters altogether. So I will continue playing for now. If you say that you don't enjoy these videos at all or anything like that, let me know in the comments. But I think it's pretty interesting. I will leave timestamps as usual, so you can also skip to the parts that you rather want to see. I think it's definitely worthwhile watching the entire video. But I know that these videos are usually pretty long. Alright, then if you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so. I highly appreciate that. And as usual, check out my channel if you haven't yet. There are a lot of interesting board gaming videos there. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Alright, thank you for watching. Take care everyone, and cheers.